So, secret species in the furry fandom. What do I mean by that? Well, as many may know, there is a very clear difference between open species and closed species in the furry fandom. But the issue is that not many people know the specifics of what divide these open species and closed species. So the focus for this video is, well, exactly that. I'm just gonna go over exactly what divides it and the definitions and characteristics of each one. So, starting it off, we have the open species. So a simplified definition of an open species, really, is that anyone can create an original character using that species without needing permission from any original creator. And of course, the majority of people in the furry fandom have a persona which is part of an open species group, if we can call it that. But usually, although these open species have some sort of established guidelines or traits to maintain its aesthetic, if you want to call it that, the people who choose these species to create their personas usually have a lot of freedom in what they can do to it, or what, for example, colors they can make it, which make it extremely unique. And of course, examples of these open species are stuff like hyenas, wolves, dogs, foxes, etc, etc, etc. However, there can be some species which are open but regulated by the original creator of them. And these are usually through the use of some sort of specification document or website or something. For example, Dutch Angel Dragons, where you have to have some specific traits or features in the persona. But moving on to closed species, there is a lot of differences. So let's just start off with a simplified definition. A closed species means that creating and using a character that belongs to that closed species requires approval from the original owner or some sort of designated authoritative figures. And that process usually involves something along the lines of purchasing your own slot or joining an exclusive community, or maybe if you're already in one, it's much easier. But of course, when you talk about the characteristics of closed species, they usually have some sort of detailed law or specific visual traits and rules. But the only reason why I can see that these exist is because the original creators or creator wants to ensure consistency and uniqueness of their original species. However, unfortunately, I can't really find that many clear examples of these closed species, so you may just have to search up like a closed species list. But it kind of goes without saying that these are quite unique species, and you're probably going to notice them if you see them. And that if you're interested in creating an original character from these closed species, make sure that you get explicit permission from these moderators or the owner of the species, as you wouldn't want to upset anyone in the fandom. But apart from that, if you like my content, feel free to subscribe, because I'll be making a ton more videos that are similar to this, and like it so that I know if you liked the content, and leave some comments with some ideas of what you'd like to see next. And of course, I hope you will have a fantastic day.